Hi, I'm Mark Nejma. Good morning, and everything is relevant today uh, to BNGO stock, the stock market, crypto. Uh, it's kind of a sad day. It's a shame about Afghanistan, and it shows, unfortunately, how weak the American military and American government is today. We've had two major failures. Uh, One was the failure to protect the capital. I don't know what kind of country that's supposed to be so strong could not protect the capital from its own citizens, who certainly were upset about a valid or invalid point. It doesn't matter; it's their perception, and they couldn't stop them from getting into the capital. Today, looking at the Taliban entering uh, the Afghan uh, Capitol building, uh, kind of looked like the insurrection. It's just like they walked in because why? The Afghan government military forces let them in. And that's the same thing that happened at the Capitol. They let them in. And now they're prosecuting our fellow citizens. Uh, it's very disappointing to me when I invest in the stock market to see these things happen to America. We lived through it with Vietnam, where we had to suddenly get out of Saigon. And now here again in Kabul, uh, America is showing weakness. And the political parties seem to be uh, in a bipartisan opinion that, well, there was nothing that could be done. Well, I'll tell you what was done is that we had soldiers that died there. And now these soldiers are being treated as garbage, as what they did meant nothing because of weak politicians, because of woke politicians, and because we, as American citizens, don't have enough guts to speak up, speak clearly, and speak calmly to people so that we can come to a solution. It makes me very sad. Anyway, what's likely to happen, and this is about BNGO, is that we're likely to have a decline in the dollar. The decline in the dollar will force people to reconsider crypto in a big way. We may see Bitcoin go to $150,000. It's quite possible because a weak country means a weak currency. And a weak currency means nowhere to go except to cross-border currencies. How will this affect BNGO? Well, people like myself, and I'm not saying I'm going to, might start to sell off their stock because they have no faith in the government that's leading us. The same government that's supposed to promote innovation, the same government that's supposed to stand behind fairness, the same government that's not supposed to interfere with patents. I don't know what is happening in this country, but I do know you're responsible for it. You are the weak hand. You are the people that turn its back on the principles of the United States. And it should change. And you can change by speaking up. Anyway, as we see this news happen, uh, it's all about the stock market. Everything is about the stock market. This is probably the worst news the stock market uh, has ever heard. Now, regarding BNGO, uh, the only thing I want to hear is about more machines being installed. I don't want to hear about 150 machines. I want to hear about 220. You're spending so much money in your company bringing in new people. For every new person you're bringing in, I'm seeing 37, 40, there should be 10 machines per person. Otherwise, the investment is useless. The book deal about getting a chapter in a book, woohoo, big deal. How many students? Tell me how many students you are actually going to get that book to. Tell me that you've invested to buy those books to get them into the universities. Tell me that as an investor, you're going to buy a book and get it to a doctor. That's what I want to see from BNGO. You know, people mock AMC. They mock how the CEO is actually communicating with their stockholders. The stockholders are the lifeblood of a company. There is an effort here to bring a new technology to market regarding solving people's illnesses. If it's not solved because people don't know about it, it's a big problem. let's get to a simple point where this company is actually communicating not the big dreams, but the big facts. That's what I want to see. As far as the Rentec sell-off, it's old news. FinTech, worthless. I have a subscription with them. Canceling it. I don't need information that's 60 days old or 45 days old. What's ever happened has happened. Okay, I want to know what's happening now. And the only way you can see that is by watching the stock market prices, watching BMGO's prices, and also watching the charts and trying to read them the best you can. But even that is not factual. You have powers that be there in hedge funds that have massive amounts of money that can buy shares, then sell shares, then buy shares, driving the price down, lowering their cost average, and screwing the retail investor. Do yourself a favor. Don't even think about the FinTech information. It's useless. The only thing that matters is the volume on the stock, which is way down, and the price of the stock. Now, volume down means one of two things. One is no one's interested in buying the stock, so therefore no one's selling it. Or no one's selling the stock, so therefore no one can buy it. Which of the two is it? We'll find out shortly. Oh, I got to say this, and I'm going to say it in every one of my videos. Yahoo, StockTwits, worthless. Absolutely worthless. Full of propaganda, full of fraud. People that are spreading information about stocks or the death of the stock market in the future. The only information that matters is information that comes directly from the company. Not from a person like me that takes guesses or like, rah, I own 1 million shares. That's bullshit. What matters is the information from the company. You know why? Because a guy like me that owns a lot of shares says to himself, I don't hear good information. I don't hear production. I don't hear proof of culture from the corporation. I'm out. I'm out of my 1 million shares. Guess what? Your shares go down in value. So if I were you, I would do the same thing I'm doing. Demand that we get better information, not a bunch of bull crap from the company. And by the way, Eric, if you're watching this video, let someone else speak. You have a CFO from Tesla. Next time there's an earnings call, I want to hear from him, not only you. Let the guy speak. I need the information regarding the financial future of this company. Glad that you're in charge, but step aside and let other people speak. Now, the most important thing I have to say in this video, on the day that Afghan people are suffering, the day that our soldiers are not remembered and are forgotten for their efforts in Afghanistan, is that you have to realize that we're going into the 20th anniversary of one of the worst things in America's history, and that is the fall of the Twin Towers, 9/11. If you're not thinking about that right now, you're not doing the right thing. I don't want to hear that BNGO is a liberal company or a conservative company. I want to hear that it's an American company. If you're just a bunch of liberals or a bunch of conservatives out there that are thinking only about your side, then you're doing the wrong thing for the 3,000 plus people that died in those buildings. And for that matter, two of my friends, which most likely were the guys who tried to fly out those windows. Because I know that those people never gave up. All I can say is we as investors have to make more demands from companies that we invest in, like BNGO. And we have to start to change things. Getting reports on hedge funds activities from the second quarter, we're already 3 quarters into the third quarter. The information is useless. And that law should change. Have a good day. I'm an investor with BNGO. My position currently right now, I'm not selling. Not yet. I'm going to give the company a chance to speak more clearly to me and not send me random tweets on a weekend with old news about a chapter that's in a book. I want to know how many students have that book in their hand and how many decision makers. Thanks and have a great day. I'm Mark Nedrum from Newsweek.com. This is not advice. This is just entertainment. And I hope that my ugly face entertains you today because I'm pissed. Have a great day.